Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. Today we are going to be talking about what you do next, your next steps after you decide to make the move to San Jose del Cabo. First of all, congratulations. This is a big decision and you've made it. And you probably have a whole laundry list of questions, and hopefully after this video, most if not all of them will be answered. If not, please leave me a comment and I will be sure to respond. So first things first, find a realtor. Not just any realtor. In the States and in Canada, it looks a little bit different when you go on a house hunt. So normally you're probably gonna open Zillow or have a recommendation from a friend or family. Both those are great options here. If you don't have a trusted recommendation from a friend or a family member who's already made the move, you really want to do your research, because it's not, how do I put this? Not every real estate agent down here is equal, I guess. So now it is a law that you need to be a licensed realtor. So you need to have a license. But in the past, that wasn't always the case. And as the years have gone on, it's not really regulated. It's not a very regulated industry. And unfortunately, down here, a lot of real estate agents are not licensed, meaning they do not have the training necessary to represent you in the way that you want to be represented in making the biggest, most important decision, financial decision that you'll likely make. So be sure to find a licensed real estate agent. If you're looking for one, I am one. I'm licensed as of 2023, which is also really important because NOM 247 is a new series of laws that span throughout the country of Mexico, and it's really important that all of the agents are tested on those new laws. And so you need to make sure whoever you're working with is licensed, and they're currently licensed too. So don't be shy to ask for a scanned PDF of their license, and they should have absolutely no problem of giving you their information. So anyway, first things first, do that. If you do not have one, I'm more than happy to work with you, but make sure you find a good realtor down here. Second, you are going to want to plan a discovery / house hunting trip. Do you like that? He's my little sidekick today. So plan a discovery house hunting trip to come to San Jose del Cabo. This doesn't need to be like a month to 2 month long process. No, 1 to 2 weeks long at the maximum. This is just to kind of get an idea of where you want to live. If you don't already know, I have a video that I made a couple years ago of the different areas of residence in San Jose del Cabo. So go ahead and check that out. It will give you a rough idea of what you're looking for, and then as you work with your real estate agent, they can also help narrow that down based on what you're looking for. So if you want to be, somewhere that has a golf course or a beach club or whatever that is, so when you're here, you're not wasting a lot of time doing a lot of the heavy lifting, deciding if you want to be in the East Cape versus Cabo corridor. You've kind of already narrowed it down to, okay, I'm in between Palmilla, Carencia, Puerto Los Cabos, and Fonatur. And then you can kind of narrow it down based on what's on the market and plan your discovery trip based around obviously your schedule, but then also, maybe there's a few hot listings that have come up and you really want to check them out. And so you can kind of you can plan it accordingly, but make sure you plan your discovery and house hunting trip for about 1 to 2 weeks. Give your agent at least as much time heads up as possible so they have enough time to coordinate with the listing agents. So down here, it's different than in the States. We don't have lock boxes, so that we can't just roll up to house and type in a code and tour you. We actually have to coordinate appointments the old-fashioned way. And so we need at least 24 hours notice. Sometimes we can work some magic and get you guys in closer, especially if you're looking at pre-construction that doesn't demand so much coordination. But try to give us as much time notice as possible, just so when you're here, it's organized and stress-free, et cetera, et cetera. Now I want to talk a little bit about financing. If you have already made the decision that you're going to move here, you probably already know that San Jose del Cabo is a cash-only market. Same with the majority of Mexico, especially for foreigners, expats, us. So there are some financing options. For example, in San Jose del Cabo, Los Cabos, there's two, Moxie Mortgage and Intercam Dream Home. That's a new one. However, interest rates, they start about 12%, which is obviously much higher than we're used to seeing up in the States. And you have to usually put between 40 and 60% down. Definitely that option is not for everybody. Cabo is really 90% cash market. So that is definitely something to consider. If you're moving here full time and you have kids, you can start thinking about where you're going to put them in school. There's several different options in this area. Patrick McGregor, which is a great internationally accredited private school. There's several different Montessori schools, like for the little ones, and I'm happy to connect you with other schools in the areas for those kids. Something else that you want to consider while you're actually here doing your discovery trip is making sure you get a power of attorney. So when the closing time comes for your house, you do not have to be hopping on a plane and signing those papers. So when you're here, it's a lot easier. It's a lot cheaper to just go into your closing office, sign the paperwork. The power of attorney is not unlimited. You're not going to have these people, get access to, sign into your bank accounts. No, it's limited power of attorney just for the real estate transaction, just for the house that you want to buy. And usually that'll go to like your closing coordinator or your attorney or someone you trust who's been helping you along the process in your realtor's brokerage or something like that. But make sure you get that done. Always recommend my buyers to have a POA because closings down here take 3 to 6 months, and the closing date is always a moving target, and there's always delays. And so it can be really stressful trying to say, hey, okay, like now we're ready to close. We weren't ready to close 3 days ago, but now we are, and you need to be here, within 3 days because everyone else is ready and you have to be here for the signature. Just take my word of advice, get the power of attorney. It's well worth it. Peace of mind makes everyone's life easier. The next thing that you want to keep in mind is furniture and actually moving your stuff from Canada, the US, to Cabo, to San Jose del Cabo. So unless you have a huge brand new house full of brand new furniture, I highly suggest just buying furniture here, working with someone who makes furniture or someone who's an interior designer. I'm happy to give you a recommendation. We're building several projects out in Laguna Hills. We've been working with someone who's been great, but you do not want to deal with the hassle of moving stuff across the country. There's a lot of moving parts that go with it. You have to take an inventory and price every single item. Even if it's a used item, you have to put a value on it, and then you have to pay tax, a 16% EVA tax on that value, and that does not even include the cost to actually move the furniture. So the cost of the truck and the driver and the people like moving your stuff, it's just not worth it unless you have like these priceless items and brand new furniture from perfect style house in the States that's going to be the perfect style house and sizes in your house here. I would highly recommend just buying new stuff here. Next kind of headline big topic that I want to go over is get your affairs in order. Get your affairs in order with plenty of time stateside. So if you are making this move full time and you need to sell your house, make sure you have that going and taken care of. I know it seems like there's a lot of moving pieces and a lot of balls in the air when you're trying to close on your house in Cabo and you're trying to sell your house in America and you're trying to move all your clothes and get your kids in school. Try to start early and just keep lists because it does get overwhelming fast and you don't want anything to fall in the crack. fall through the cracks. Once you're here, you will need to switch your bills. So your CFE, your water bill, your Wi-Fi, any other like services that the house that you purchased down here have, going to want to get those switched over to your name. It will take quite a while for your deed, like your fideicomiso, the document that shows that you own this property, to be registered in the public registry, just because it's a government office, and government offices anywhere in the world tend to just take longer. But what the notary will do through your real estate agent will give you a piece of paper that basically just says, hey, I own this house, and you'll be able to switch your bills with that piece of paper. So you'll just take it into the office. However, unless you're fluent in Spanish and know your way around here really well, which I'm assuming you don't because you're watching this video, I would hire someone to do it. It's not expensive, and they know their way around, and it will take them 30 minutes to do it versus you probably 3.5 hours and a migraine. So just pay someone to do it. It's well worth the money, and it's very minimal cost, and they can get it all done in the afternoon. And I would just suggest doing that immediately. It's not that you have to, it's just I've noticed when my buyers wait, it just causes a lot more issues down the road because, 10 years from now or whatever, you'll be ready to sell, and then you've noticed, oh wait, I didn't ever put my water bill in my name, and I've just been paying under the previous owner's name for the past 10 years. And anyway, long story short, just take my word for it. Get all your bills switched over to your name as soon as you can. Makes your life easier. The next kind of like housekeeping thing you want to do once you move down here and kind of are moving into your house is go ahead and meet with a property manager and just kind of get a feel for them. You can get a recommendation from maybe someone who your neighbor uses because they're already in the area and it's easier. They know the neighborhood and the HOA and how things work. And just kind of chat with them, see how you guys get along. If you like them, ask how they get paid, how they handle paying your bills, how they handle maintenance, different things that they suggest, just so you can start familiarizing yourself with what your house is going to require. So things take maintenance a lot more regularly and differently than in the US and Canada. So for example, mini splits down here, that's not very common, at least where I'm from. They need to be maintained like every 6 months to operate properly and to prevent mold buildup, which, as we know, is super bad. So just little things like that. And, termites are a big thing down here. And, whether you have a pool, like how your pool system operates. And it's really important to stay ahead of maintenance instead of behind, because once you start falling behind, it creates a snowball effect, and it's the cause of so much stress. Like when I meet friends for dinner, that's almost the number one thing I see of people just having a bad transition here is, for whatever reason, they did not have a good inspection, they didn't have a good real estate agent. The transition and the buying process was not organized. They didn't have the information they needed. And so when they got here, there's a whole slew of maintenance problems with their house. And so now they're playing catch up. So once you get in your home and it's nice and maintained, ready to go, you want to make it stay that way. And it's really easy, especially if you're a snowbird and you're leaving for 6 months at a time. Don't just lock up your condo and leave it. Make sure you have a property manager checking it at least once a month, making sure there's not any weird things going on, like bug infestations or whatever. It's a lot easier and it's a lot less expensive just to stay on top of things rather than paying for brand new things. So meet with like 3 different property managers, see whatever one you like, and just hire one right on the spot. So you have it taken care of, and then they can also help you hire your gardener and your pool guy and whatever else you need. And so that's kind of my 2 cents on all of the practical things. And then the last but not least, I think this is the most important, like make it or break it, you're going to love it here or not, is do not wait to get plugged into the community, you guys. So as soon as you get here, go to your clubhouse and, go to happy hour at the community pool, or check out the farmers market at Palmilla on Friday mornings, or um, go to pickleball at El Horta, or whatever it is. Like, just be sure to get plugged in. If you're coming here from my San Jose del Cabo Expats Facebook page, you know that we are starting the social groups project inspired by the Blue Zones show on Netflix. So we have 5 different social groups. It's dog club, cooking club, walking club, art club, and salsa dancing club. How did I forget that one? Um, and they're completely free. They're open to absolutely everyone in the community, and it's just a fun way to get involved, meet your neighbors, and yeah, just kind of get plugged into the community. So don't wait, even if you've been here for 25 years or you just moved here 2 weeks ago, don't wait to get involved. So yeah, that's the best advice that I give to my friends, my buyers, my clients, everyone, just to kind of help you make a to-do list, get the basics. There's a lot more that can go into everything, and but these are really like, okay, this is what you got to do next to make this happen, and you can speed it up or you can drag it out as much as you want. Um, but I hope that this was helpful for you and you learned something. Let me know what other videos that you would find helpful for someone who's been there, done that. And I would be happy to share the love. So I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll talk soon.